Welcome back to the CourseLeaf CIM User Guide. In Part 7 of this series, we will cover articulation, library resources, distance education, and minimum qualifications. Alright, so we left off on articulation. The first item in articulation is for CID descriptors. So if your course is being created to align with the CID descriptor, enter that descriptor ID in this box. So for our sample history course, the CID is HIST 130. And below, where it says status, use the drop-down menu to select aligned. The articulation officer will be responsible for changing the status to indicate when a course has been submitted or approved for CID. If you are aware of courses that are equivalent from a 4-year institution, you can enter that information here. And same goes for courses offered within the district. You would just select the green button, find the discipline, and then select the courses that are comparable. So say, for instance, Moorpark has a course, we'll select that. And then we also offer a honors section, so we can select that as well. And if you know of a course offered at other community colleges not in the district, you can list that here. And if you have a syllabus you'd like to attach, you can do that by clicking the green button. Next, we have District General Education. This area definition criteria are governed by Title V and district policy. All courses proposed for GE will be reviewed by the GE Committee, and all courses approved by the GE Committee will also be presented for approval by the Curriculum Committee. For new courses, faculty can select whether a course is being proposed for a particular area. So we will select Proposed for Area B1 for American History. Alright, so we'll skip the other areas until we get to the CSU transferable section. Here it is. So faculty should select from two choices. Yes indicates a course is baccalaureate level, meaning the course number is 100 or above. No indicates a course is not baccalaureate level. This includes courses that apply to the associate degree and CTE areas or are preparatory for transfer level work such as basic skills courses in math, English, ESL, reading, as well as non-degree applicable courses. Our sample course is applicable, so we will select yes. And again, the articulation officer is responsible for completing the effective date section. Next, we have CSU GE breadth. The area definition criteria are governed by the CSUs. For more information, see the articulation officer. For new courses, faculty can select whether a course is being proposed for a particular area. Otherwise, the articulation officer will be responsible for that. So the area that applies to our course is going to be Area D for Social Studies. So we will scroll down until we see D, and I'll select Proposed. And again, the articulation officer is responsible for updating this information as it goes through the workflow. Next, we have the CSU graduation requirement in U.S. History, Constitution, and American Ideals. For new courses, faculty can select whether a course is being proposed for that particular area. And it just so happens that ours is, so we will select Proposed for US 1 Historical Development of American Institutions and Ideals. Next, we have the UC-TCA section. For new courses, faculty can select whether the course is being proposed for the University of California Transfer Course Agreement, or UC-TCA, by selecting Proposed. If unsure, consult with the articulation officer. We will select Proposed. And the final item we have under articulation is IGETC. For new courses, faculty can select whether the course is being proposed for the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum, or IGETC, by selecting Proposed. Again, if you are unsure, consult the articulation officer. Now, the area that applies to our sample course is going to be Area 4 for Social and Behavioral Sciences, so we will select Proposed. The next section we have is textbooks and lab manuals. So we will scroll down. Primary textbooks and resource materials specified in a COR play a central role in the articulation of a course. Any required materials should be clearly recognized by faculty in the discipline at other institutions as a major work that represents the fundamental theories and practices of the subject. Text should be completely referenced in MLA format, which goes last name of author, first name of author, book title, city of publisher, name of publisher, and year published. Text should be current, the newer the better, especially in rapidly changing fields. A course cannot be submitted for CID if the text is 5 years old or older. Text should be appropriate for the level of the course and must be beyond 12th grade reading level for transferable courses. Some courses may be reference manuals that are long-standing icons in their field, but typically there are also newer texts that can be included as well. Courses being submitted for the CSU and CSU GE Breadth or the UC system for transferability or IGETC require recent texts less than 5 years old, except when classic texts are the standard in the discipline. Writing courses require a style manual or writing handbook per UC TCA. Lab science courses require a lab manual. This can include STEM disciplines or any course that uses a required lab manual created by faculty. Even in-house lab manuals should be updated regularly. Open educational resources, or OER, or online digital texts are acceptable for UC if they are stable and publicly available as published texts and not just a list of web links. History courses should include primary sources or alternative texts in addition to a textbook, per UC-TCA. College success courses must include the college catalog for UC-TCA. Literature courses must include a representative reading list for the UC-TCA. And finally, you should list any other learning materials that a student must have to effectively participate in the course. For our example, we will select the green plus sign, which will open up a subform. First, choose the best option that describes the text you're working on. So we will select textbook, and then it'll ask you to choose if it is a classic textbook or not, and we will say no. Then you will write out the book citation, again in MLA format like I mentioned. If you need help with this, there's a great resource called bibme.org. On this website, you can search for a book and it'll give you the citation in MLA format, and then you can just copy and paste it. So we will do that here. You may run into an issue where the form will not let you select and click on this text box. So a quick trick around that is just to adjust the size of the box, and then you should be able to select inside it. And then we will select save, and we will see our textbook and the description here, and we can also edit it or remove it. And because this is a history course, I will add a primary resource as well. Again, that's a textbook. This will actually be a classic textbook, and I will paste it in MLA format there. Next, we have library resources. This section is not mandatory, but it is to inform the librarian if there are any specific new library resources required for this course. So assignments requiring library resources, I'll put some examples. So a research paper, supplemental reading assignments, and then the library does have sufficient library resources, so I'll select yes. And I'll include a couple of examples of the assignments listed above. And that's it. Alright, moving on. If you selected distance education as a method of instruction, then now you can fill out the DE addendum. If you did not select DE, skip down to minimum qualifications. The purpose of this addendum is to document that regular, effective, and substantive contact is maintained. The methods of instruction maintain the same standards of course quality as are applied to traditional classroom courses, and instruction and course materials fulfill requirements imposed by the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, and the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. The DE questions that follow should be answered with this purpose in mind. Faculty are also encouraged to read distance education accessibility guidelines for students with disabilities before adding or changing DE modalities for a course. This addendum serves to facilitate the mandated separate review and approval required by Title V. Let's go over a few definitions first. Distance education means the instruction in which the instructor and student are separated by distance and interact through the assistance of communication technology. Partially online or hybrid means a course section taught more than 1% but less than 100% online. Fully online means a course section taught 100% online using only distance education instructional modalities. There can be no part of a fully online course section that would require a student to be on campus, including but not limited to orientation, assessment, proctored examinations, or a proctored final. Web enhanced means a course section taught completely on campus and face-to-face, but with some or all materials such as the syllabus, assignments, gradebook, etc., posted online. This addendum is not required for a web-enhanced course, provided that no sections of the course are offered using hybrid or fully online modalities. For distance education modalities, choose all options that may apply to the course. We will select hybrid, otherwise known as partially online, 1% to 50% online. Moving down to faculty certifications, faculty assigned to teach hybrid or fully online sections of this course will receive training in how to satisfy the federal and state regulations governing regular, effective substantive contact for distance education. The training will include common elements in the district-supported learning management system, LMS, online teaching methods, regular, effective substantive contact, and best practices. This means you understand that the faculty member teaching the class must complete the OTT-CC training offered by the district. If you have questions on how to sign up for that, please reach out to the instructional technologist. So we will select yes, that we understand that we need to do that training. And the second question here is faculty assigned to teach hybrid or fully online sections of this course will meet with the EAC alternate media specialist to ensure that the course content meets the required federal and state accessibility standards for access by students with disabilities. Common areas for discussion include accessibility of PDF files, images, captioning of videos, PowerPoint presentations, math and scientific notation, and ensuring the use of style markup in Word documents. So we will select yes. Next, we have regular and effective substantive contact. For each DE modality requested, check all methods of instruction that apply, and provide a description of typical activities and assignments to document the regular effective substantive contact will occur. From the drop-down menu, we will select a method we would use, so asynchronous dialogue, or communication not happening in real time. And an example of an activity would be students will post a discussion board topic such as effects of the Civil War on the American economy, and they will respond to another classmate or two with the intent for dialogue. We will add another method of instruction, and we'll do other. We'll say students will watch online lecture videos, and we'll add one more. We'll select synchronous dialogue. Students will share their thoughts of the online lecture in an online chat with their classmates. And finally, we have examinations. This is asking how the exams will be offered. Select all that apply. We'll do on campus and online. And finally, we have minimum qualifications. All courses must have a minimum qualification assigned that reflects the body of knowledge required to teach the course content. Since Banner allows for only one at a time, a primary MQ must be designated, which should be the discipline that is planning to offer the course initially. If there are additional MQs, they can be listed under additional minimum qualifications. HR will use the COR to verify all appropriate MQs when faculty are assigned to teach a course. In order to teach a course, a faculty member must have been hired to teach in that discipline, not just meet the MQ. So we will select history. Then we have the additional minimum qualifications. If more than one MQ is appropriate for the course, use the drop-down menu to select an additional MQ by pressing the green button. So we could select social science. Please reference the minimum qualification handbook if you have questions about the disciplines that can teach a particular course. If you do not see what you are looking for from this list, please contact the curriculum team to assist you further. And lastly, there are additional local certifications required. If an additional license or certification is also required to teach the course beyond the MQ, it should be listed here. For instance, our fire tech courses require staff to have state certifications, so you would put those there. Now, all that is left are the review and approval dates, which the curriculum technician and articulation officer fill out throughout the workflow. So all you have to do now is save your work. So at the bottom of the form, you'll see 3 options. Cancel if you want to start over, which I don't recommend. Save changes if you're not ready to submit the course to workflow but need to save your progress. Or start workflow if you're finished filling out the form and you're ready to submit your new course to your department chair. So we'll select save just to make sure. And you should now see your course in CIM, and it'll say new course proposal, changes saved but not submitted, so that you know that it hasn't been submitted to workflow. And all of the work that we've done will be listed here. And to submit it to workflow, you'll click edit course. You'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, again seeing all of the work that we've done. Keep scrolling. And you can select Start Workflow. Once workflow has been started, your department chair and dean and the curriculum committee will begin the review process. As your course goes through workflow, you'll see these steps listed to the right. And this is just showing where it is in the process. So orange is the step that it is currently at, and green are the steps that have been completed. And you'll also see the approval path with dates. That brings us to the end of this video and series of videos. You should now be able to create a new course in CIM with confidence. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and as always, feel free to contact me with any questions.